I've been making sourdough bread in the bread maker for the last 6 months, and I've had some changes since then. 1.5 scoops of flour, white flour, as opposed to 2 scoops. 2 scoops just comes out too dense. It's good, but 1.5 scoops is better. It comes out softer. It tastes better. Also, I've substituted whole wheat flour for rye in the starter. It's just it's easier to get a hold of. It's a little bit cheaper. The difference in the taste is negligible. Occasionally, I've used bread flour instead of white flour. This does taste a lot better. It's just the bread flour comes in small bags, and I have to go to the grocery store more often, so I just stick with white flour. I've used slightly less water. Now, with the slightly less water, what happens is the top comes out rounder. It doesn't cave in like my breads in the first videos used to. So less water is kind of a good thing. And also with the less water, I've run down my timing belt on the bread maker. So I've had to replace that because it has to work a little bit harder. I store my bread maker yeast at room temperature, not in the fridge. On the instructions for the yeast, it says to store it in the fridge. I don't bother doing that. I don't know if this affects the bread, but it's what I've been doing. I also use less of the yeast. I think instead of 1 teaspoon, I use a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. I set a delay of 6.5 hours. That seems to be enough when baking after the dough has collapsed. I use a setting of dark and 2 pounds. That seems to work. This is just a follow-up video, so my previous videos show how I did this, and this is just to make sure, to let people know that I've been successful with this. The bread comes out really good. I've haven't had much of a reason to stop baking, so enjoy.